Oh,
Oh, cheeky.
this is live.
We're fucking live now, boys.
Google official.
Hold on to your pants and spread
Crash.
those butt cheeks.
I'm not wearing any pants.
We're live and on the internet.
Hello, internet.
Oh,
How are you, internet? How is internet? Internet well? Good. Yeah. Hello. We are a podcast because we haven't named it yet because David wouldn't pick a name.
Can we go with one of the ones you said?
Well, we haven't decided yet. So far, this is called the podcast with no name.
Right.
But at least we can say who we are.
Yes.
Because we have names. My name is Ben Kwai. I've been on the internet before, but don't worry about it. Me and David, and subsequently Ben, who'll speak in a minute, we thought we'd do some more video game related stuff because there's clearly not enough of that on the internet.
There's a shortage.
There's a
Revive.
demand for people that talk about video games. So we thought, you know what? Fuck it. We'd do it.
Yeah.
And we are a little collaborative troupe under the name of Pixel Almighty. Oh no, it's a good name. It's a good name.
Pixel Almighty.
There are branded T-shirts coming to your local stores soon. Yeah, so I'm Ben, and this is David. Hello, David.
I am David. I make video games and stuff.
What else do you do, David?
I also make the machinimas, and I also play the games, every game on everything, and I guess that's it.
And how did you come to be involved with Pixel Almighty?
Well, as you well know, Ben, I joined a few websites and wrote for them, and then I wrote for one of your websites, which was called Hard Reset, and we had a great old time there, and it was great fun, and then we decided, actually, you know what, let's go make the best website ever in the world, and that's how Pixel Almighty came into fruition.
And the best website in the world doesn't actually have a website, does it?
No, not yet, but it will do. It's
We're going to operate off existing popular platforms. More details to be confirmed. But hello, Ben.
All right.
This is another Ben. Don't let it be confusing.
No, I'm the Ben. I haven't been on the internet before. This is new.
You have been on the internet before. Shh. All right. Shit. Okay. I'm not allowed to mention those trials. Hello, Ben. How did you come to be involved in all of this, you sly chaffinch?
You promised me I'd get laid.
Promises that I can keep.
promised me fame and
But
fortune.
all you're offering, I don't know about this. I think
Oh, man, it's getting seedier and seedier by the second. But yeah, us three of us with a collaborative troupe known as Pixel Almighty. There will be more people, and there will be guests. But first off, let's just talk about what we came here to talk about: video games. So, David, what video games have you been playing this week?
I have been playing Skyrim this week with all the mods turned on. Just every single mod ever in existence just loaded and put on.
Right.
With no conflict between mods at all.
And how's that working out for you?
It's actually really replayable. Everyone should go play Skyrim again, but with mods turned on. It's the best thing ever.
I mean, you don't need to tell me and Ben about Skyrim. I think we've put in a fair few hours into that beastly game, right, Ben?
Oh yeah, yeah, but not with mods because I don't have.
No, not with mods because we're console fellows.
Oh, console peasants.
Well, all right, let's sweep it under the rug. Sweep it under the rug. So yeah, what is your favourite mod that you found, or combination of mods? What have you got working behind the scenes to make Skyrim better?
I'd probably say the top 3 mods, everyone needs to get ENB Graphic Series mod, which is like, ENB does graphic mods for tons of games. Like Grand Theft Auto 4 looks like real life when you put ENB graphic mods on. So this guy made one for Skyrim, that really makes the lighting and stuff better, so get that. Second one I'll probably say is get Skyrim Unbound, which cancels the story mode, so there's no Dragonborn, there's no dragon shouts or any magic hoodoo juju. You just explore. You literally just start in a random place, random character, and you just go off and explore and pick up side quests. And the third mod, last one I'd say, is probably the coolest, is I don't know what the actual name of it is, but it's like Skyrim Combat Evolved or something, and it basically means that your stamina goes down quicker, if you hit someone in the leg, they like trip backwards. Like it's realistic fighting mechanics. I think that adds a lot of realism to the game.
Oh, yeah, and so these are all positive additions to the core experience.
They add on top, yeah. They don't really change it.
Yeah, because the only mods that I've really seen are the Macho Man Randy Dragon mod,
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Thomas the Tank Engine, and then there's my all-time favourite mod called the Schlongs of Skyrim, where everyone gets massive penises, and in fact you can give potions to people to make their penises even bigger.
Oh.
I take it this is not a mod you've experimented in.
I have all of them, as I said, so it is. It's just I haven't found them yet.
Oh, we haven't found the Schlongs.
No. It doesn't sound like something you can really miss, though.
yeah, they're, I think large and in charge. I think clipping through doorways, the penises are coming to get you. Like a bad latex Doctor Who villain. Anything else? Anything else been filling your pipes?
I'm trying to look around me and see if there is anything. I really haven't been playing anything else. It's just Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2.
Come on, David, you've been laid up with illness. You know, you've had all your toes taken off, so you know you must be playing video games.
I was going to use the time off for the toe surgery for playing Watch Dogs, but then I watched people on Twitch play Watch Dogs, and I decided not to play Watch Dogs.
Well, we'll come on to that in a bit, but yeah, let's have a good old natter about Dark Souls 2.
Possibly the best game I've played in years. It's a big claim.
Even better than Dark Souls 1?
Yes.
The divide.
It's easier than Dark Souls 1, which you'll hear me say in a video we have called YOLO Mode. But yeah, I'd say it's much easier than Dark Souls 1, and I think that makes it better.
I don't know. Ben, come on, Ben. You're a veteran of Dark Souls. Weigh in.
I've yet to play 2, but I think that a slight decrease in difficulty would not go amiss, because it was painful. Painful.
Actually, Ben, I've got some good news for you. Because I've had to give my 360 to my brother, there is now a copy of Dark Souls 2 sitting around my house.
Oh.
So if you need to come and get that,
I might have to come and get it.
Then you can come and get it.
All right.
I'd rather see it used than unused.
Yeah. Okay. Let's wrap this up.
Ben, I'm done. Fuck everything. Bring me Dark Souls 2.
I might have to come and get it. You can just take "and to get it" out of that sentence. It would probably still be as accurate.
See, I've seen a lot of division in the Souls fan base with Dark Souls 2. Some people really like it, but some people really hate it. They didn't get as immersed into it as they did with Dark Souls 1. And I kind of had the same experience. Like, it was a good game, and I had a great time playing it through completely in co-op, but it was easy. There was, the few times I died were purely tragic accident of my own part.
I will say that, it's gotten easier, and that's the thing. Most of your deaths are going to be accidents or just misjudgments, like jumping and stuff. But from actual combat, it's hardly anything like Dark Souls 1 in terms of dying from combat and bosses and stuff. And I think one of the things that's maybe ruined it as well is how easily you can just get people in multiplayer to just jump in and do the fighting for you.
See, I don't know. I'm humming and hawing. Well, I was humming and hawing until my Xbox disappeared. Whether to play the game again on my own and see if that made a difference, because I played it the first time around entirely in co-op. The entire stretch of the game was in co-op, apart from the few sections where you can't co-op. But we shan't explain that. So, maybe I missed out on sort of the quote-unquote definitive experience? Maybe?
Yeah, I think, the only thing I did alone, I think, was the Belfry Gargoyles, the same boss as the first Dark Souls. Yeah. Because you got the whole PvP leading up to the tower, don't you? Before that boss. So if you try and wait for someone to enter your world, you'll probably get attacked before you take on the boss, so I just took it alone. But New Game Plus, I think, brings Dark Souls 2 back into Dark Souls 1 territory, because as soon as you hit New Game Plus, it becomes Dark Souls 1, and then the challenge is there again.
Yeah. So we've got to be very careful, because I don't want to spoil Ben, because it's just... It's it's the same as Dark Souls 1, there's that innate wonder in the world. Not as much wonder, and the levels aren't nearly as interconnected as well. If you get me?
No, they all feel different, don't they? Like Dark Souls 1, it felt like it was one long level. Then you hit the midpoint, and then you flew over to that the new place, Nar Shaddaa, is it?
Yeah, Anor Londo.
Oh, Anor Londo, that's it. So then when you got there, that was like, it was like two worlds, you know, but the halfway point in the game was like, okay, you're ready to take on the real challenge, here's Anor Londo. But in Dark Souls 2, every area, like you said, it feels disconnected, probably because of the fireplace traveling, the fast travel.
Yeah, it's a bit, it's like where it's, there's one level set, it's when you go into the Poison Valley, then you go up a windmill, and then you go through this windmill, and then you take an elevator. Then you take an elevator up to a fire castle. It's like geography-wise, how does that work?
Yeah, it doesn't feel very consistent.
No, but you know, not disparaging. It is a great game, but I think Dark Souls kind of has its own standard to live up to.
Yeah.
So it's hard to live up to it.
And remember, like Demon Souls was great, and it was really, really hard. But it was Dark Souls 1 that really like took off, probably
Exactly.
for those reasons.
Exactly. I mean, have you seen the few clips of Project Beast?
Yeah, it just looks exactly like Dark Souls.
Exactly, but with next-gen shininess. And I believe the creator of Dark Souls is now in fact the president of From Software. So you can kind of see what the critical acclaim of this game is sort of, you know, done. It's projected better games onto new systems, and even projected people up to levels of video game presidency.
Yeah, like Ben, you played the first Dark Souls, right?
I did.
And the other Ben?
Yes, I did.
How about if I called Benji and then Ben?
Either. I mean, our voices are different, so I'm sure people will work it out.
Okay, well Benji, like you played the first Dark Souls, you said, yeah?
Is that me?
Yeah, that's Benji.
Oh my god.
Yeah, your first Dark Souls. Did you play Demon Souls?
I didn't know.
You didn't have a PS3, I assume, same as me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you play any of From Software's previous games, like Tenchu Z on the 360?
Yes, played Tenchu Z.
What were your thoughts on that?
I wasn't a fan of that.
Of the Tenchu series, or just the Tenchu game that they made?
That was the only one I played, so...
Right. So, would it be correct for me to say, like, From Software is kind of a low-budget developer?
Yes, definitely.
And it's only since Demon Souls felt like a low-budget game in some respects, and it was only since Dark Souls kicked off that they've kind of found their footing, and they're a bit of a powerhouse now in terms of action-adventure games. But before it, like all the games they've made, there's only a Togi on the original Xbox that really sort of had a polished feel to it.
The thing with From Software, they're kind of like an independent. Well, they are an independent studio, but you know, like they're like one of those small teams that make sort of niche games. As critical acclaim as there was for Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, they still kind of feel like niche games, which is what is nice about them.
Because there was an interview with one of the creative producers of the company, and he said, we don't concentrate on making games that sell well. We concentrate on making games that we want to play, that we like, and we quite like the sort of medieval lore of Europe. And, you know, he went on to speak about other stuff. But basically, they want to make games that they want to make. And as you said, that's just kind of the niche segment, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the correct attitude to have, and you wish more companies had it. But, you know, you're always going to have the big conglomerates like EA and Ubisoft, and even Microsoft and Sony. They're going to go after mass market appeal. And Dark Souls is not a mass market appeal game. Because it's challenging. People like to be handheld through video games.
Yeah,
most people.
And they've got a really good sort of creative backlog of games. Like, I'm looking at their games now. Like, Lost Kingdoms was basically a game where you threw like trading cards on the floor, and monsters would pop out of the floor, and then you'd fight with them. It was like Pokemon in a way, but with cards.
Yeah,
that's a really sort of original idea. And then a Togi were playing like as this samurai warrior that flies in the air and shoots spells, and it's like Devil May Cry, but if you had wings, it's a really good game. And then Chrome Hounds, that was like a mech shooter, but you had the whole customization stuff, and Ninja Blade was...
Yeah, that was great.
Okay. Yeah, it was action-packed. It was like Devil May Cry on steroids, but there wasn't much like creatively going on. Like, that was a hack and slash. But yeah, every game they've done has been pretty like original, and it's been like a niche kind of thing. Like they've taken a genre and they're not trying to make like an FPS RPG with RTS elements. They're not trying to please everyone. They're like, no, we're making this kind of game and we're going to make this as good as possible.
Like you said, they make games that they want to play, and they
Yeah.
appear to have found their flagship series in Dark Souls, Demon Souls, and I'd happily play those as long as they saw. The thing is, though, between Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, there isn't really a revolution of the wheel, is there? It's pretty much the same game.
And this next game they've got now looks pretty much the same as well.
Exactly. You know, they've got a formula. They've just got to stick with it and refine it, make tweaks. You don't need to reinvent the wheel with every single game. And, you know, I think they could quite happily go to Dark Souls 10 before I got a bit of fatigue.
Yeah, and it'll either go down the Halo sort of, Halo kind of, I'm trying to think of another game, Metal Gear Solid route, where, you know, as you said, there's like small variations in the formula, and they slowly, like, you know, come up with new ideas. All go down the Call of Duty road, and there just won't be any changes at all, and people get sick of it.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Yeah.
Benji, Benji, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I have been playing my Wii U.
Oh, one of these guys.
I decided to play it more because I haven't really played it. So
when did you even buy one? I know you were humming and hawing.
I don't know why I bought one. Don't know.
It just turned up.
Yeah. I think I found it on Gumtree or something, and then it was a bit of a bargain.
Jeez, more you know. So let me guess, you've been playing Mario Kart?
I have. I've just been playing it now, actually. I've been playing Mario Kart 8, and I've been playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
Let's start with the Goomba in the room. Tell me about Mario Kart.
Bloody good. It's really good. Like you mentioned before, it is a case with Mario Karts that obviously I think if you buy every one, you're not going to notice much difference between them. Like you said, you play one Mario Kart, you play them all. So I agree with that to a degree. It's just that I think if you buy them in periodically. So I haven't had one since Double Dash, and now I've got this one, and it is different. You can feel it's different. It's faster, and there's a lot more attention to detail. Their hair all moves now, and they look at the shells as they're flying past. They turn their head, and the online play has been implemented, which is really seamless, lagless, and quick. And it's colourful. It is what you expect, but it's still good. It's a good game, and with the banging deal they got going on at the minute, when you register your Mario Kart game within the next sort of month, I think it is, you get a selection of 10 Wii U downloadables for free, and not like little games, like a full. Like I've got Wind Waker HD for free, so I mean that's like 30 quid on Amazon or something like that. So I put 39 for the game, and then I got a 30 quid game free. Yeah.
That's not a bad deal. And there is a as much as I deride Nintendo for myriad of reasons that the listeners will learn more and more about as we go on with this, there is a tangible magic with playing a Mario Kart game with 3 other friends.
Oh yeah.
There is. It's literally sort of one of those quintessential multiplayer experiences.
Mm. It is.
Double Dash. Was it Double Dash where somebody sat on the back with you?
Yeah, that was the one that really reinvented the way it played. Yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah, that was very good.
So what, did you have 2 people in one car?
Yeah, you
Two
did.
2 players?
Yeah.
That's a bit mental.
And basically, the second player on the back of the cart would like juggle between 2 weapons, and he'd be the one that like launches them and stuff, and the first player would be the one driving, and then you could switch seats and just sort of tag team each other in.
Interesting. That is an interesting idea. I take it there's what was the big thing they were pushing in this one? Was it anti-gravity?
Yeah, and flying, wasn't it?
Yeah, they've got anti-gravity, which is pretty
gliding, I should say.
Yeah, and the gliders. You've got customizable carts. I mean, I think they've done that for a little while now, but like I say, I haven't had one for a while. So, but they're actually the different chassis and the different wheels and the different gliders. You mix them up, they do actually affect the stats of the vehicle. So the big thing everybody's doing at the moment that's got it is trying to work out the best combinations, and everyone's posting them online and trying to find new ones. It's pretty cool.
Have you been using the controversial move? Is it the dash hop?
The dash hop.
Yeah, I believe there was a controversy going around the internet that if you hop while you've got a boost, it lasts longer.
Does it?
Yeah.
Hmm. Didn't know that.
Oh dear, have I started a monster?
You might have done. You might have done. Yeah.
Has it got what's it like for new tracks, old tracks, good ratio, bad ratio? Has it got all the classics in?
50-50.
Yeah.
It's got half. I think it's how many here? 4. Some 16. 16 new tracks, and then it's got 16 reinventions of tracks dating as far back as the SNES version.
So you've got Rainbow Road.
You've got 2 versions of Rainbow Road.
What?
You've got an N64 remake and then a brand new one.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Yeah. Although I'm dubious about how much of a reinvention of these old tracks they are, because some of them seem much more mental than I remember them. Like,
do they have extra design for like the gliders to be incorporated into them?
Yeah,
as well?
I think that's what it is. Yeah. So,
Well, if you remember the SNES game, most of the tracks were just like a loop or a figure of 8 or just a slightly wonky loop.
they've got donut planes on that one, and it's literally just a flat map the whole way around. I just don't know why.
Jesus. Donkey Kong, Tropical Freeze.
Oh man, now there was a surprise right there, because
I really liked Donkey Kong Country on the SNES.
oh yeah,
It was a great time. And have you played the remake?
I've played not the
Have you played the Wii U one, or did you go straight to Tropical Freeze?
I've literally gone from a Game Boy Advance remake to Tropical Freeze.
So you didn't get was it Donkey Kong Country Returns? That's the one.
I didn't, no. But from what I've read, I don't think you need to. If you
No, what is Tropical Freeze? Is it the same game but with a different theme, or?
No, it's a new story, new big bad guy, no more K. Rool.
But he's the best.
I know he is the best, but I haven't actually finished this one yet, because it's actually, and this is the biggest surprise, it's a painfully hard game. It is so hard. It's not at all like Donkey Kong's used to be. It's really difficult, and in a really annoying way. Like you'll always have like 99 lives. You'll never find yourself going short of lives, but you will die all the time, and little bits will drive you mad. And I think it's good, because obviously I've got older, and now going back to the original Donkey Kongs, although they're really good, probably wouldn't challenge me at all. So it does feel like they've kind of made a game for people that loved the original Donkey Kongs, but have kind of compensated for the fact that they're going to be older and need more of a challenge, and made a game for them rather than for more children, because I don't think kids can play this, really.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. It's I've always, out of Nintendo's back catalogue, I've always favoured those damn dirty apes over, say, Mario or Luigi, and apart from Wario. Wario and Waluigi are cool guys, so they can hang out. But everyone else can fuck off out of the club.
Wario gets his own in Mario Kart 8. His own mountain. Don't know what he did to deserve that, to be honest.
Well, he had a Colosseum, didn't he?
He did have a Colosseum.
So he's moving on. I want a proper Mario game with Wario as the bad guy, or a Wario game with Mario as the bad guy. Oh, what would happen?
Oh man,
Exactly. Mind's blown every second. Hire me up, Nintendo. Here's all my ideas.
Actually, speaking of that, how many games can you think of, if any, where you play as the bad guy and there's like the good guy in the background, like messing things up for you?
Oh.
Aren't you the bad guy in Shadow of the Colossus? Technically.
It's not designed that way in how the Colossus look, but the Colossi, sorry. But yeah, I guess like if you just go from a story perspective, yeah, you would be.
Braid.
Yes, Braid. Good call. My shout's gonna be Dungeon Keeper, I think.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, what was that one they made? There's one a bit like Dungeon Keeper where you
Quest for Epic Loot.
No, you play like an evil. You got like henchmen, and you do build.
Evil Genius.
Evil Genius. That's the one. Yeah.
And I think Tropico is similar.
Oh, it's Tropico, is it? All right.
Now, what about the one on the Xbox with the guy with the little goblins?
Yeah, I was thinking that one. Is that called Overlord?
Overlord.
Yeah, Overlord. Yes, there we go.
You know, I do quite. I know it should be more normal to be the bad, or I either like being morally grey, or
Mm.
playing the bad guy and fighting the good guy, or that kind of. Not enough games do that.
No.
There's
Knights
two.
of the Old Republic, Star Wars.
Well, yeah, but you're technically the good guy in the end, really.
Yeah, depending where you go, yeah, that's true.
But it's
Force Unleashed?
yeah, yeah, I can see
The
your point.
first one, at least.
Yeah, but it's more. There's too many games with big white men with big thick jaws and guns.
Mm.
There's not enough. It's getting quite bland recently, and this kind of segues nicely into my experience with Watch Dogs. I'm having fun with it, but there's just something at the back of my mind saying this isn't quite right. It's really odd. Like the story you just play as angry white man out for revenge, and he's just nothing much more to it. And you know how they touted like the hacking was the big. You're going to be hacking. You're going to be subverting everything. It's pretty much it's more of a straight up shooter.
Mm.
Yeah, that's what I saw when I was watching people on Twitch. It was like it's a straight up. It's basically Ghost Recon's cover system mixed with Splinter Cell shooting and action, and then the hacking is kind of like you can hack a traffic light, you can hack like a steam pipe in the road, you can hack like certain things, but it's kind of an afterthought, like a side thing. It's not really the main game. It's an afterthought.
It's useful, but it's like I said, it's an afterthought. Like when it all comes together, say you're chasing down a bad guy, you hit that button, you cause a traffic accident. It is really cool, but like you can't play. I was really annoyed that there's no way you can play that game without killing people. Because I kind of thought that he's not going to be the stereotypical hero. There's going to be shades of grey. There's going to be sort of 21st century spy thrillery stuff, and it's just not there.
Bit of an anti-hero thing going on.
Yeah, he's called the vigilante. He's got a very gruff voice. There's even one point I've heard of where he goes, "I'm Batman."
The Dark Knight with a smartphone.
Yeah, exactly. And it is just an Assassin's Creed game in the future, kind of with a bit of hacking. It's not enough. Yeah. You can kind of see by the way I'm talking about it. There's little flashes, but there's not enough to sort of keep you going. Like. What's really surprised me is with the games with gold for the Xbox One has come out now, hasn't it, Mr. Hayho?
Yes, it has. I will download that very soon.
And you've got Max Curse of Brotherhood and Halo Spartan Assault. I'm actually having a really great time with Max Curse of Brotherhood, and I did not expect to be. That game looks really fucking nice, and it's really simple. Brother wishes his brother gone away, brother gets taken away, brother goes after him to get him back. Really simple, nice story, framing some just really nice puzzles. And it's really odd feeling for me to have more fun with sort of not a budget game, but a downloadable title than a big AAA money spinner. And it is a money spinner because it's now, I believe it's Ubisoft's day one bestseller now. Wow. So there's going to be more Watch Dogs. There's no denying that. But if it's going to be, it's got to be something more than this because this isn't really enough for me, anyway.
Well, I think a lot of people are on the same page as you there. From what I'm hearing, from what people are telling me, it's just everybody's just a bit kind of.
It's the problem. Well, it's the problem with next gen at the moment, or essentially for the early adopters. There's not enough to keep you going. So when something comes along, you literally grab it with both hands.
Yeah.
And it still feels like a last generation game.
Well, remember like how things have always been, as in, if you bought, say, a Mega Drive, it came out, tons of games, like you were great, you were sorted, small development cycles like 6 to 12 months. Then you went to the PS1, same again, short development cycles like 6 to 12 months, maybe 2 years, depending on what kind of game it was. But really, we're talking about like short cycles, and games would come out quick. And it was like, oh, 3D, you have to go to 3D. So everyone was developing for the PS1 and PS2 because you wouldn't go 2D anymore. But there's nothing really incentivizing anyone to go to the next gen at the minute, developer-wise. Like, think about it. We've got games like Skyrim and GTA 5, which still look amazing. Why are we going next gen so quickly? If you've got like a 10 million fan base on the PlayStation 3, why would you make a game for like 2 million on the PS4 this early on?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I mean, David, obviously, like you said, you were going to get Watch Dogs. You had it already. You saw it on Twitch. What put you off?
I basically had that experience with GTA 5. Why would I want the same experience again when it says it's going to bring something new to the table, the hacking and stuff, and it was just like, no, it's just GTA 5, but Ubisoft style, and it's not as good.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically sound. The city kind of works, and like I said, the hacking stuff is really nice. And having kind of more fleshed out crowd is nice, even if it's like little bits of information like is addicted to online pornography or goes to church. Like those little pops of information just really sort of flesh it out nicely. But yeah, it's just a average game. Like I've been playing it before we started this, and I'm sort of just plodding along through the story, not really incentivized to explore out of it, which is really a great shame. And in fact, I'm already planning. With my next gen stock, I was going to say, right, I'm going to try and keep every next gen game, and then by the end of it, see how many games I had, because I've never done that. I've never been a real collector, so I was going to see if I could do it. But I'm thinking I might trade in Watch Dogs for Wolfenstein: The New Order, because apparently that is something new, and that is something really good where people didn't expect it to be.
In an interesting way as well. Like it's the first game to tackle sex in a kind of mature way.
Exactly. You go, oh, Wolfenstein, that's just killing Nazis, isn't it? I mean, they're right, it is killing Nazis, but there is more to this new one than meets the eye, apparently.
Yeah. This has come out of nowhere. Like Wolfenstein, the last one, what was that called?
Wolfenstein Nazi Space Warriors Extreme. Musa.
Yeah, whatever it was. But, that was just a straight-up shooter gore fest, wasn't it? There was nothing there to incentivize any kind of original thinking. But this one, as you said, it's come from nowhere. It's like a sleeper hit of the month. I think it's overtaken Watch Dogs in terms of what it's done.
In terms of what it's done, yes. In terms of sales, no, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
at the end
unfortunately.
Of the day, money talks.
Yeah, we vote with our wallets, and in this case, yeah.
What's your say on the matter, Ben? I know you've not played Watch Dogs, but sort of are AAA's stagnating? Is it now up to the smaller studios like From to sort of punch through these big games?
Well, I think so. I think we get caught up in hype. Well, obviously we do, but I think we tend to overlook really good titles that are coming out that slip in. Indie titles a lot of the time. Like I just recently played Transistor, which is the new Supergiant game, and it's outstanding, and I've spent loads of time on it, and I was going to get Watch Dogs, but I was actually really looking forward to it from the demo that they did, the online demo, and seeing how it was going to work. But as with everything, or many things now, it's just there's always disappointment, and it's what's sad is you kind of see it coming.
Yeah,
you expect it.
Yeah, I mean, look at, was it E3 2 years ago when Watch Dogs premiered?
Yeah.
Look at the furore and especially poignant since we're on a cusp of a new E3 in a couple of days.
Mm.
Hype just snowballs, and there are very few games that can survive under their own hype. Even Grand Theft Auto 5, which usually does sort of stand firmly as its own hype, even that dipped a little bit in some people's eyes.
Mm. Let's remember what E3 is. Look at Halo 2 and E3 2002 or 3 or whenever it was showed. The whole thing of landing on that ship in the city, and then the huge the Ghost Warthog you were shooting with the railgun from it, and everything was scripted perfectly. You jumped on the Ghost and kicked the guy off. It was all scripted. and it was just like one long movie trailer, but gameplay was the footage. But look at Halo 2, the finished game. We didn't have that level in any shape or form. We had a bit of a city level, but nothing like the E3 demo, because the E3 demo was made specifically just for that instance. And a lot of things you see in E3 now are basically just like Bioshock. Look at the horse bit. The horse bit never made it in.
Mm.
True. I think people people have been bitten too many times now, and I think that companies are slowly going to have to realise that they've got to show the product, not a amplified version of it. I mean, you're always going to put your best foot forward, but if you're just straight up lying to people, then it's going to cause issues.
Picking the highlights from a gameplay reel is one thing, but making a complete original section of the game that's never going to make it into the final product just to show off how good the graphics and stuff are, that's marketing, which it's difficult to say, because at what point do you draw the line where you say, well, look, we're going to show this at E3, and this is what you're going to land up buying, this is the game, a proper trailer, or what's marketing material, which is like, we're going to show off all this great stuff, like, we spoke about this on the Hard Reset podcast, the trailers, the pre-rendered kind of, 3G CGI trailers, they show nothing of the game, but they generate hype. At what point do you say, well, I just want to see the actual gameplay I'm going to get when I buy the game, and then when is it suitable to put up, the CG trailers and the lying marketing kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a hard line, and we'll never truly completely get rid of it, because it's just like any other industry, especially any industry involving PR. You're gonna spread a load of bullshit and then have a few nuggets of truth in it, especially in the cinema. Most of the times these days, you'll either have all the footage, all the good stuff in the trailer, or you'll have jokes that are in the trailer that aren't even in the film, like you said.
Yeah.
It just gets to a point, and I don't know.
We've had like a few examples in last year, like Alien Colonial Marines was kind of the first big one, I guess.
Oh, that was a big fuck up.
Yeah, I mean, so much was showed and promised and never arrived.
Ben, you played that recently, didn't you?
I did.
How was that for you?
I got about 4 minutes in, and then it went in the bin.
I mean, I know you only brought it for a $5, but you're expecting something a little more, I don't know, more of a...
I was expecting when games get down to that price, I don't really mind paying in general, no matter what it is. Like, it's just something to fill some hours. Just I felt like a bit of a run and gun, have a laugh, a bit of a scare maybe, and something like that, But it really was just diabolical. It was just hordes. You just start off and there's hordes of them around, and they're just exploding all over the place, and they're all weak, and you're overpowered. But for some reason, it's still overly hard, and you keep dying. It was a pile of shit.
And you wonder how people can release
games
like that in this day and age.
It's insulting. And what's really annoys me is the way you said earlier, you just said about using pre-rendered trailers. And what irritates me, it's not that they do it, because, I mean, we've all got the good sense to be able to work out, us have the sense to know that is a pre-rendered trailer. But what drives me mad is the amount of people that don't. The amount of people that don't separate it in their minds, that they actually do just take it on board that this is the game, and they do, even if they don't say it and say like, wow, this gameplay looks amazing. They don't say it, but they make like some kind of subconscious connection where that is actually the game for them, and that's what happened with...
Their imagination gets taken away with them.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have that little message at the bottom of game trailers now. Have you seen it? Where it's like, this is not in-game footage, because people actually think that is, and that's a problem. That sometimes the audience isn't educated enough. Not saying that we are, but we've been involved in it for a bit longer. We know
what the consoles and hardware are capable of. We know
what to look out for. I mean, prime example, there was a new trailer for The Witcher 3, a couple of days ago? I don't know if you guys saw that, but my love of The Witcher is high in the chart, and that was the perfect mix of CGI and gameplay, and it showed You know, it showed the characters looking nice and crisp, and then it cut to the gameplay, and the gameplay was just as crisp, which is what you want.
Mm.
And that is only going to get more of an issue with the next gen as well, because you look at games like Metal Gear, Phantom Pain, or you look at games in the Unreal Engine 4. I mean, the Unreal Engine 4, they're actually selling that now as an animation suite. Like, basically Epic Games are saying, look how good our engine is, look how good it looks. You can use this to make, like, Pixar Toy Story type stuff. They're selling it as, a CGI engine in real time.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to be careful with this kind of stuff and how far we push those boundaries.
It certainly is a pretty picker, but yeah, it's just the key piece of information to take away from this is just keep your eyes open and trust your instincts. If a game looks like a pile of shit, it probably more than likely is a pile of shit.
That's the only thing you'd be certain of.
Yeah, especially in regards to Colonial Marines. If it ain't made by Rebellion, stay away from an Alien game. I think is a fair rule. But yeah, like I mentioned, we've got E3 coming up, in a few days. And what's everyone excited for? Get your little opinion hats on. I don't want you can make some Just let me know what you're feeling from this year. The first year of proper next gen. What are you expecting from the big three? Come on, David.
I'm calling it now. Elder Scrolls will be announced. It's been 3 years. And Bethesda have been way too quiet for my liking. They've basically got enough people to be working on 3 games at once. They've got The Evil Within that's on the works at the minute, and they've got a second one, haven't they?
Yes, they have. I can't recall what it is.
Yeah, I can't remember either, but they do have a second game. And now they have announced that they are working on a third game, but they haven't said what it is. So it's either going to be a Fallout or it's going to be an Elder Scrolls.
I think
going to be next gen.
I think more than likely you're going to get a Fallout before you get another Elder Scrolls. Am I right, Ben?
I kind of hope so. To be honest, I think it's about time we get another Fallout. That'd be great.
I don't know if you've seen sort of Sony's mutterings on E3, but they've released sort of what games they're showing at their press conference.
Oh, the zombie one, you mean?
Well, no, just what games in general they're showing. And they are showing a lot of indie games. Like Sony said last year, they were making a big push for indie, and they're really showing it this year. But I don't know if that's going to hurt them or not.
No, that's going to be benefiting them. I would have thought,
because there's a place for console indie games, and certainly Microsoft isn't it at the moment because we've got like 7 of them in the store.
Yeah. It's pretty dire.
But Microsoft had a interesting showing last year with a few mixed messages, and Sony had a strong performance. Microsoft have had to take a lot of stuff away and claw it slowly back. They're not sort of on par with Sony yet, but if they have a big sort of AAA showing like that, like I think they're going to have, they're going to win over people. Whereas people know about these Sony games, they know about all these indie games. It depends what new stuff they've got in the pipe. I don't know if Sony's got as much new stuff in the pipe as Microsoft supposedly has.
Microsoft has the potential to surprise, whereas Sony's used up all its cards. Like you said, we know what's happening with Sony. They've said, like, coming soon, autumn 2014 or summer 2015. Like, we've already got a list of things that are coming on the PS4, when and how long we are from it. With Microsoft, they've not said a lot about a lot of things, so that either means they don't have that stuff there, or they're keeping it as a surprise, which in E3, as you said, will win over customers, because like, oh look, we mentioned Halo 5, but what about like Halo 5 Reach Edition, or something else, or Halo 2 Anniversary Edition? That's meant to be the big announcement at E3.
Well, there is rumor that there is going to be some sort of Halo edition
trilogy.
I think it is going to be the Halo trilogy, or on Xbox One, and I don't know, they might even chuck in Halo 4 just for laughs.
Yeah.
Just for laughs.
So I think they've got more to announce that could pick them back up. Whereas Sony, they've played all their cards.
Yeah.
Everything's been announced, everything's been talked about.
Yeah, if Sony's going to be solid and to very good, and Microsoft, we don't, like you said, it's a dark horse. We don't know what to expect from them because, like you said, they're still on a back foot from last year. And obviously, Nintendo is not really an entity at E3 anymore. Like, not in like a sense of they haven't got a press conference. So, and I don't really know what to expect with Nintendo. I can never predict what they're going to do, and then what they do making sense. If you understand me, they've got their own logic. I mean,
Nintendo gonna
everyone,
roll out their in-house titles now because that's what they did with Mario Kart because they've got to make some sales.
you know, they're gonna have a release date for Smash Brothers,
Yeah.
and then I mean, we all know you buy a Nintendo console to play Nintendo games. You don't buy it for anything else.
No.
You buy it for your Metroids and your Marios and your
Well,
Zeldas.
three
And your
Nintendo titles, and you certainly buy this Wii U for your Virtual Console because they're bringing out some great old retro stuff on there. It's brilliant.
Have you got Earthbound yet?
Haven't got Earthbound yet. I'm still looking around for a SNES copy.
What else? Maybe you can get a copy of Excite Bike. Get that going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting show because obviously it's next gen year one. It won't be as good as last year because obviously it's not going to have that same amount of hype. But that might be a good thing for it because we're not expecting as much hype.
Let's just bring out some good news and announce some solid games and let's get our money's worth.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of money's worth, solid games and announcing, David, I believe you've got some solid game announcing codes to give out to nice people.
Yes, we do. We will be editing the codes, into the start of the recorded version, but for those who've been listening, if you check out the recorded version once we've uploaded it and it's been edited, we'll be giving codes away for a game called For the King on the iPhone, iPad, and iPhone, is it Touch? iPod Touch?
iPod Touch. I tell you what, David, if they've been listening this far, why don't you read out one code and then we'll put the other codes in, like I said, we'll put what we're going to do. I've decided on the fly that we'll have this up as a live show video thing on the YouTube, and then we'll have the edited podcast version up there as well, and then on the iTunes and stuff. So yeah, give us one code now for the merry listeners.
Okay, well, one of the codes, and you can get For the King, as I said, it's on the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. It's optimized for iPhone 5, and again, it's For the King with 4 as the number. The first code, which gives you a free copy of the game, you don't even have to pay for it, is EAJTEW3T4NA3. And that'll give you a free copy to play, and it's by Hypnic Games.
Well, thank you very much, Hypnic Games, for supporting our first unnamed podcast. We really need to think of a name. That should probably be our next job. But yeah, I think if that's all about time, that doesn't make sense. If that's everything that we've done, we can wrap this up, Thank you very much.
I was going to say one thing might be worth adding: Dead Rising 3 on the PC.
Dead Rising 3 on the PC. What? You're gonna play it?
That was one of my reasons for getting an Xbox One, and now it's gone, and I'll be getting on PC.
Well, thank you for that tidbit of portrayal. Your portrayal of tidbits. But yeah, thank you very much. We are collectively Pixel Almighty. We are about the internet. You can find us on Twitch at Pixel Almighty, on Twitter at Pixel Almighty, and on YouTube at Pixel Almighty. I think you're kind of getting where I'm going here. We're called Pixel Almighty.
Pixel Almighty.
In God voice,
What we called?
Jeez. We call it NG Benji Fun Time Experience.
Oh man.
We're new, so give us time. We've actually got our first YouTube video up now. It's my Watch Dogs Diaries. That's Act 1 is up now.
Fantastic.
So you can have a
We'll
check
have a YOLO video up in the next few days as well.
Exactly. We'll have a YOLO mode up, courtesy of David, and then I'll be doing one. And, if you're asking what the fuck is a YOLO mode, you'll have to, well, I'm sure you can work it out, but you'll have to wait and see. David will give you an explanation in his video. But yes, I've been Ben.
I will.
Say goodbye, David.
I've been David Strife 7.
Don't worry, the 7 is not actually in his name. It's not. I've seen his birth certificate.
It's a lie.
Say goodbye, Ben.
Goodbye, Ben.
Thank you. And that's goodbye from me. Goodbye. Thank you very much for listening. Play some music, DJ.
Du-du-du-du-du-du.
That was the worst.